Welcome
have worn pants.
to the internet.
You should have worn slacks.
You didn't have slacks? Well, good news.
Better call Traxx.
Gotta call Traxx. And this week on the Pod Doo cast,
On the pod, doo-doo.
Helping you relax when Mother Nature attacks your slacks.
With
Traxx.
X-Lax.
That's a good idea. Lubing it up.
Is this on Twitter? Can I retweet it?
not yet.
Okay.
I wonder how we'll do tonight without competition from football.
We did okay last night until our stream died.
Yeah. Till
Yeah.
the internet crapped out.
Thanks, internet.
Yeah.
Stupid.
More like crappernet. Am I right?
You are mostly right.
Say, friend.
Say.
Where's that live feed? There it is.
Buddy.
43 seconds ago, it went live,
Hell yeah. Welcome, everyone.
which is even more seconds than this currently would say. Just time travel, man. I'm going to post on the Book of Faces. How are you wording the Twitter blurb?
We hope you've lined up some snacks because we're live streaming about Traxx.
All right.
Did you spell snacks correctly or
With
double
two
X's?
X's,
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Duh.
Just checking.
Traxx. Snacks.
Yep. There it is.
They do rhyme, yes.
Oh, look at that. Oh, look at all those retweets.
Getting the word out.
People are suddenly going to get the Smarty Jerkface, Mr. Brink, and Big Mackey have retweeted.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't
Bad movie
doing it.
Fiends.
Fuck that.
What?
Why don't you care about our show?
I don't know.
I will retweet that. I will open it in the YouTube app. Actually, no. I will do no such thing.
Okay.
There it is.
Getting up in them crevasses.
I'm putting a mint gloss on top of my.
Oh.
Cause that
Some
regular,
sealant.
regular stuff tastes like garbage, but it works better.
It is made from garbage.
Okay, is the live stream working?
Yeah.
Mine is doing interesting things.
Like what?
It's kind of having a little seizure.
Oh,
Because it's flashing the red bar and...
Oops, that's the wrong thing.
I cannot tell if it's working.
Oh, that's
I
right. Oh,
only
man, you
have
don't
a
even have an iPad.
No, I used the entire charge last night and
Oh, no.
forgot we were podcasting.
Oh, no, Chuck. What are you going to do now?
No.
Don't you have an iPad charger?
No. I don't need it. Trust me, there's not many Traxx facts. I
Somebody
need
has
to
said this stream is freaking out. Keep starting and stopping. What's wrong with your internet now?
What's happening? Is there anything in the other room acquiring things? No? Okay.
Are you sure?
Are you still trying to?
No, that's why I've answered that 3 times now. No. There's nothing doing that.
Are you positive?
Are you downloading updates?
No. Oh,
Are you
wait,
sure?
that might be.
That thing updates every week.
Yeah,
and
it does,
twice on
doesn't it?
Sundays.
Whoa. It is applying settings. Cancel. Let's see if that happens. It's Linux, man. Linux machines love that shit.
Got to keep
Nope.
updating.
It's a Linux system.
Polar Bear Tex. If a bear leaves some tracks, Jay-Z will rhyme it with tracks. It's freaking oat, man.
Fuck off.
What? Sorry.
Sorry.
Damn, son.
Oh, wait. There it is. There it is. There we are. It's working.
Or goddamn Linux.
I'm sure that's what it was.
Your Linux is breaking the internet.
Did it?
I don't know. It's working now, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, hey, it's up.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hi there. I didn't see you. Oh, I have to sign in. I wonder which identity it'll make me sign in with this time. Use YouTube as me. Thanks. Good job, YouTube. I'm a big fan of YouTube.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
It's made us a whole 43 cents since we started.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good amount. It's made you more, Chuck, because you get thousands of views per video.
Not that much.
How's
more.
your Dangerous Babes doing?
Good now
Breaking
that
all records?
Well, now that I got it freed from the copyright police.
Ah.
Well, he's still living off the fat Tosh.0 money.
Yeah, Tosh
Totally.
money.
Totally living off that. It's about $4 a month.
Hey, man.
I know.
You know how much I'm getting off of YouTube?
How much?
Oh, I haven't checked mine yet.
$0.00 a month.
Focus. Come on. Podcast. We don't give a shit about YouTube.
Okay.
Wait, we're on. No, we do give a shit about YouTube.
No, I mean
Hi, everyone.
other things
Yeah.
about YouTube. Come
Right,
on,
yeah,
let's
no,
fucking
fuck
do it
It's 9
now.
o'clock.
Let's
Time to
fucking,
go.
let's fucking
Yeah.
do a podcast here.
I'm ready.
It's 9 o'clock.
Ish.
All right.
Do you know where your podcast is?
You've written that intro. You ready to go?
Mostly.
Oh yeah, do we have notes? Did you do notes?
No, I don't do that anymore.
All right, no more notes.
We became too reliant on the notes.
Well,
We did. And even then, my notes were just jokes. So,
yeah, they were good jokes.
but they were jokes that only we heard because we couldn't really work
We
them
didn't
into
read
the
notes.
podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
So,
Traxx does this.
no more notes. And I'd rather play games on my phone instead of taking notes if I'm going to miss something.
All right.
Just kidding. I don't do that too often. All right. Traxx. Traxx.
Traxx.
Let's talk about Traxx.
You good? You got an intro? We good? Should I play some music?
Traxx. Play a music Traxx.
I was thinking just this week on the BMFcast. Hold on to your slacks. Let's talk about Traxx.
I like it.
Simple, effective.
Yeah. Don't stain your slacks.
2 X's we're in.
1 star, 2 X's.
4 tracks. You're listening to us. One podcast, 4 tracks.
Oh dear.
Hey.
What did you
hey.
do, Chuck? What happened?
Yeah, I like that. One podcast, 4 tracks, because it's a double meaning. Huh?
Get it?
Oh.
4 tracks.
Uh-huh.
Okay, play that music.
It's working
White
on
boy.
it. It's working on it. It is still working on it, apparently.
This man.
Why?
I love this song. Yeah.
Wish you could hear this tune, internet. It's really good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Peter apparently has lost the ability to play, I don't know, an MP3.
That's weird.
So difficult.
Oh yeah.
I don't fucking know. I literally don't know. Windows
iTunes?
Media Player is acting like it's buffering a fucking MP3 that's local. God, Windows is awesome. So glad we switched to this versus the Mac. That
Yay.
always worked.
Hey, what?
Your idea?
You.
Hey man. XSplit.
No, this fucking shit that's only on Windows.
Yeah.
Fuck if I know. I don't know.
You want us to sing it? Ta-da-da.
You're supposed to say this week on the band.
This week on the podcast.
You guys are nowhere near any.
Yeah, you also can't actually do that because it pick up all the other tracks.
All the tracks.
No, we got rid of the condenser mics. That
No,
doesn't
it's
happen
time for
anymore.
Traxx. I understand that you were frustrated.
Yeah, you were the one ready to go.
Well, Windows was like, no, apparently not. Let's not do something simple like, I don't know, play an MP3.
Oh man, computers.
We're back in 1988.
Our life is so much better.
Download Winamp.
Hey, it kicks
I'm
the
already
llama's
I'm
ass.
getting VLC, so I can play anything from now on. Ever.
Oh.
That's pretty good.
Oh wait, are you downloading?
Yeah,
Real
That's gonna
player.
mess up the stream.
It's already done.
Oh, okay.
Oh, associate with all the files. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Associate. So how was your weekend, everybody?
Spectacular.
Man, let
Yeah?
me tell you about my weekend.
Let's talk about the last 18 hours where we weren't together.
No, I
Miserable.
spent a lot of time talking about video games.
I cried a lot.
Yeah.
Unfathomable sorrow.
Yeah. Parents were in town.
Yeah.
Then I kicked him out.
Right?
Finally,
Yeah.
officially moved out of BJ's place.
Yeah?
He's got it to himself.
Man,
Yeah.
it's going to be all the ladies now at BJ's place.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to know what
This
happened
fall
on
on
that mattress
CBS.
left at his place for 2 months.
Oh.
Nothing, surprisingly.
No.
I didn't even
Way
get
to-
drunk and throw up
Way
on
to
it.
lie and bump yourself up.
And you've convinced me that
Nothing.
you've
I didn't do
happened.
shit on your mattress.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Well, I did shit on the mattress, but
Okay, well, that's good.
I'm wondering if the live streams can even hear us do any fucking thing. Can somebody confirm that on the live
They're-
stream?
They will
It's
confirm it in about a
apparently there.
minute.
Well, we got, oh, hey, it's up. And
Oh, hey, it's up.
I don't know if they can actually hear us say anything.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's one way to find out.
Maybe he's just commenting on the Robert DeVee scene. What's up? Da.
Da.
V. I hear
Yeah,
something.
we're speaking. Yep, there we go. We're talking about our weekends.
I hear
so.
BJ saying he
We're
didn't shit on the
seeing
mattress.
Inception. Yeah.
What the fuck, computer?
I live my life like there's no tomorrow.
We don't need music. He's a pro. He's done this 208 times.
Yeah, apparently.
all of them with music. Don't
Really?
don't
can
take this
do
away
this.
from me now.
I thought I was going to get out of here by 11, but it's not going to fucking happen.
It's going to totally happen. We're going to start right. Sit your ass back down.
I'm out of drink! I need more drink, Chuck!
It's turned into Lord of the Flies in here.
Don't you tell me what to do! God damn it, Chuck!
Okay.
God.
There's water in here.
Well, we need to edit out that 12-second clip and make it its own thing on YouTube. Mackie freaks the fuck out.
What is wrong?
I'll tell you what to do. You're not my father.
I don't know. Let's just wing it.
Okay, let's totally just go.
Let's do it without Mackie.
I
Just
gotta go.
close the door.
What the fucking shit?
Sorry, it's Michael Bay.
Oh, okay.
Aw.
Hi, and welcome to the.
Gotta go.
Magic movies and I can't read the teleprompter. I have no mind of my own.
Toshiba sound Sony explosions.
Sorry for blowing out your speakers right now. It's the yelling cast.
Yeah. And scene. Hey, buddy. Welcome back.
I'm feeling better now that I got water.
Okay, I'm
I'm
glad.
gonna get a drink. Just do
Oh, where the fuck do you think you're going?
You don't fucking need me to do an
Where the
intro.
fuck do you think you're going?
You don't have to need me to do an intro.
Are you recording?
There's gonna be no music. Just fucking deal with it.
I can't tell if you're laughing or crying over there.
I can't tell either.
He's recording.
Why are mommy and daddy so mad? Is it my fault?
Hey, it's always your fault.
I know.
I would chew some gum, smack in the mic.
God, I will kill you so hard. Let me do an
I'll
intro.
kill you to death. Do you understand?
Let me do an intro
me?
so we can get this out of the way.
All right.
God, for God's sakes! Would you just fucking die?
Oh my god, it's the end of the show.
We have to get this out of her.
Who's just a little chewy?
Stop. Let me do the intro. Then you can be all the kinds of asshole you want to be.
Yeah, see, you can't do it.
Without the music, it's like peeing without water in the background. This week on the BMFcast, you're gonna want to hold on to your slacks, 'cause we're gonna talk about Traxx. 1 star, we're in.
Were you recording?
Oh, fuck, sorry. I'm sorry.
No, Chuck checked, he said.
Chuck checked.
Oh, good.
Chuck check. Chuck check. Chuck check. We
Good
got a Chuck
check,
check. Good check, Chuck.
Chuck checker.
Well, check.
Thanks for that.
Do you have water? Are you good now?
Yeah, mostly good.
You ready to do a podcast?
Why not?
I'm gonna leave. I swear to God. If you were
You
fucking
stop smacking the gum. You stay where you are. You whatever it is you do it. Let's light this candle.
Apparently I typed penis. That's what I typed.
How about that? Why would you type penis? That's weird.
I don't know, that is weird.
What child is this?
BJ mentioned. So,
Comment has been removed by the author.
oh no.
Oh, I still see it. Screenshot.
Okay, hey, let's do a podcast.
Sure.
All right, somebody
Why
clap.
not?
Clap. Fucking.
It's gonna be the most. We're just gonna be angry at each other. Yeah.
Whatever. Fuck it. Just fucking clap.
Fucking do it. Make a clapping noise. All right, welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey,
BMFcast.
BMFcast.
Episode 208.
Wow, that's a number that's higher than 200.
It is.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And what we do each and every episode of the BMFcast is we go ahead and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Then we come in here and talk about it for the first half. And good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies, 1-5 jocks and robot jocks.
Hooray!
All right.
And the bad movies doesn't stay away. They get a negative sliding scale, 1 to 5 bags, as in douchebags after Twilight.
Haboo.
Oh, that's too bad.
Haboo.
Yes.
So-
Haboo. Everyone's friend Haboo.
Racist.
He's our friend. Why?
Yeah.
Hmm?
What?
No, you're just.
All right.
I mean,
Oh.
not for that. Just
Oh,
in
okay.
general.
Yes.
Yes.
general. Yeah.
Yes. Then
from
yes.
earlier.
Right.
100%.
Yes. Random movie we just found and decided to watch it because that's what we do sometimes when we don't have
premise of the
dumbass
show,
theme
yeah.
ones.
We watch a movie.
We did 1988's Traxx.
Traxx. Let's talk about Traxx.
Baby.
Yeah.
Starring
Starring.
Traxx.
Shadow Stevens
Yeah.
and Robert DeVee and some other people.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get a plot summary out of the way before we completely lose it.
Good thing that was during a break in the action.
Mute. Sorry.
Traxx has battled his way through El Salvador, the Middle East, and Nicaragua, spitting lead with two-handed good grace. He decides to retire to a life of baking designer cookies. Running out of dough to buy more dough, he hires himself as a town tamer.
Yeah.
He hires himself as a town tamer.
He kind of does.
This neglects to mention that the movie starts with him kind of quitting / getting kicked off the force
Yes.
of being a police officer.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yes. In early 1984.
Mm-hmm.
I lost track of the timeline really fast because they did
But
things.
it throws you right into the movie because
Yeah.
the first shot is Robber holding up a cage with a monkey in it saying, stay back or the monkey gets it.
Yeah, give me a car or
Yeah.
the monkey gets it.
Yeah.
And his police partner, Traxx's police partner, is telling him, well, he's already killed some old lady and a puppy.
And a puppy.
And he's like, well, the old lady was just for sport. The puppy, like that was a masterpiece or something like that.
Genius.
Yeah.
Genius, yeah. I don't know.
They'll be able to plead insanity.
Yeah. And they're like, well, get him a car, do what he wants. And he's like, not on my watch.
Let's rush him.
Spots a skateboard on the side of the road, grabs the skateboard, I guess knocks his car out of park so that it coasts along while he is Marty McFlying the skateboard off the back of the car
But with his nightstick
with his nightstick.
jammed into the bumper so that he could drag himself.
Sure. And then
very well thought out.
sort of kind of launches himself through the window.
Yes.
Yes, he self-defenestrates.
Yeah, I'm just saying he doesn't really launch himself. It's more like he was ducking behind the car, and then he's like, "Ha ha!"
Yes.
Jump through the window.
I'm here.
It's not like he's actually catapulted by anything.
Yeah,
even movie magic.
Right.
So yeah, the robber, he shoots one robber. I guess there was two.
Yeah, there were.
Because he shoots one robber that holding the monkey cage, drops the monkey cage, and the other guy's like, "I give up."
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "The hell you do," and throws him his gun, one of his guns.
Yeah.
And they do a quick little standoff thing about 3 feet away from each other, and then he lights him up when he tries to shoot him.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, Traxx.
Yep.
Well, I think that. Well, I think first it's like you're off the force or I quit.
Yeah, police captain yells at him, says, "This is the 80s.
Yeah.
Everyone has rights."
Yeah, guys like you went out 100 years ago.
And Traxx is like, "Fuck it, I'm leaving."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so he goes.
Yeah, it wasn't real clear if he was leaving or if he was just kind of walking out of the chief's office. And
Well, the next scene, he's in,
Nicaragua.
yeah.
was that later or was that earlier?
No,
I was-
that was-
I think it was like
Yeah.
he was bored and he was going on to bigger and better things.
He just
Okay.
became a mercenary.
I
yeah,
gotcha.
like war.
Mm-hmm. It's fantastic.
One man war.
Hey, man.
Because
He's just-
he never was
mercenary
fighting
them
with
is fun.
anybody. He was like
No.
saving people.
Yeah, he's just running around posing and smiling and taking care of his hair and throwing grenades.
Yeah.
And a lot of things blow up.
Casually throwing grenades. Just
Yeah.
kind of like,
Yeah, just like, yeah.
that's a grenade.
Yeah, it's almost a montage of
Kind of. It's
Him
just like
just
progress of
destroying
time.
third world countries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's Nicaragua and El Salvador.
I mean, it's obviously a Rambo spoof at the time.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially, I mean, this was after Rambo 2, where it was just like fucking crazy. And
Yeah, because this is not just like goofy 80s. This is making fun of goofy 80s. Like
Yeah.
in a very incredibly broad way. And this is kind of where that starts. Because, I mean, the first scene is like, all right, it's not played as goofy as it gets when he's in Nicaragua and just like telling guys jokes as he's about to shoot them. And they're like, wait, what are you saying? And then
Yeah.
it's like, ha ha! And then shoots him and has like a goofy grin on his face
well,
during
the
it.
best is when he carries the injured guy over to the sandbags, and then he stands up and he's at a reflective window, and he stops and like does his hair and stuff, and even does like the
Yeah. Hey,
the gunpoint.
Yeah.
aren't you cool? Hey, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he has like a switchblade comb in his
Yeah, he does.
in his utility belt.
It's just like a comb that's got a big loop on the end, like
Oh.
a giant knife. He pulls it out and he twirls it around.
Yeah.
It
It's a
combs his
combat
hair.
comb.
Yeah, combat comb.
Exactly.
A Bowie comb.
But it
Booty, if
ends
you
with
prefer.
him. It's in 1987, and he and his friend are walking. He says, "You know what? I think I've done all I can really do. I'm kind of getting bored of all this mercenary stuff." And he's like, "Oh, what are you gonna do?" And he's eating cookies, and he goes, "This guy's cookies are all right, but I think I can make better cookies." And he's like, "Cookies? Really?" He's like, "Yeah.
Yeah.
My plan is good. I'm just gonna retire and make cookies and be famous." And the guy's like, okay. But as this entire scene is happening, it's basically the camera's moving backwards. They're walking towards the camera,
Yeah.
and there are just explosions going off left and right behind them, like real practical explosions in the middle of this jungle or whatever,
Yeah.
just blowing up over and over. And he's never breaking stride. He's
No.
never even reacting to them. He's just delivering his monologue about cookies.
And he does really well to not let the explosions go over his dialogue. He's very good about getting a sentence out, and then they must have timed it to where he knew he could get a sentence, then they would detonate, and then he could get another sentence out, because it's never like you can't hear what's being said.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
yeah. And then I think they die.
Yeah, because then there's an explosion right in front of them.
Because he's like, I'm going back to America. Taxi. And then just explosion. Full screen-filling explosion right in front of him. And I think...
Is that like a star wipe, but it's a explode wipe? Or...
That's what I think it is.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's just,
Yeah.
explosion white, which I like.
It's the best wipe.
Mm-hmm. And then he's in his... he's in a shack somewhere.
Yeah, trying to make cookies.
Just comically failing at whatever the hell he's attempting to... It's just like if... you took a child who had been raised in a building with no outside exposure to anything for 30 years and then threw him in a kitchen and said, make cookies. It would just be like, why?
Obviously, you have to use the blender and the
Yeah.
microwave and everything you don't use to make cookies.
Mm-hmm. And just pure chaos going on.
Yeah, there were a lot of things he used that were not cookie
I
things.
First
He had
bowl
stuff
was
boiling
like,
on the stove.
motor
and-
oil.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure he was covered in motor oil.
Well, I mean, considering what his combinations of cookies were, I wouldn't be surprised if he was like,
Yeah.
people want motor oil cookies.
Yeah, he is making a lot of really terrible ideas
Yeah.
for cookies. But like some guy shows up and has like a for rent sign and plants it in the yard, and I guess that's the message to.
Yeah.
It's his landlord knocks on
Traxx
his
to
windows
be
like, "Give me money."
Yeah.
And
He's like,
Traxx goes,
fuck.
"No,
I don't
cookies."
Cookie bunny. So
I've been able to clear my cookies.
he's listening to the radio, and he's hearing an interview with, we don't know who it is, but we eventually it's this sheriff of a town who's retiring, and he's just like, the interviewer's like, well, who's going to replace you? And he's just like, it needs to be some town tamer, just
Yeah, he
comes
said
in
the
and
Old West, there were people, they didn't know the law,
Yeah.
but they knew right and wrong.
They knew
They knew
justice.
Yeah, they knew justice.
I like that,
Yeah.
actually.
They didn't know anything about the law.
They knew,
They knew everything about justice.
yeah,
That's actually a really good line.
and Traxx is like, all right, I'll go do that,
Yeah.
and just throws a bag in the back of his truck and speeds off.
Mm-hmm.
And then you cut to, what is it, Hadleyville,
Hadleyville, Texas.
Hadleyville,
Yeah.
Texas.
which is just pure fucking chaos. It's like
It's like a big
Gotham City times
yeah.
100.
It's kind of like the city of when Black Roses, like after the concert, when
Yeah.
everyone's like, yeah, let's fuck things up.
But it's like there's only one industry in this town, and the industry is crime. It's like I don't know what jobs anyone else could have possibly been doing in this town. There was a grocery store and 18,000 brothels.
Yeah. Tattoo parlors, liquor stores,
Yeah.
strip clubs, porn shops.
Pimps just beating the hell out of hookers on the street. I mean,
lifting her up over his head.
yeah,
Yeah.
that pimp was.
And there's random explosions going off in the whorehouse. There's guys climbing fire escapes and stealing stuff.
Yeah,
Random
Just
gunfire.
Chaos.
Yeah.
pure chaos.
Car, breaking into cars, everything.
Yeah. And eventually this leads to two cops who are actually arresting somebody, which seemed like kind of a surprise that it was even happening in this town, but they're dragging the guy in. And
It's the
he's-
pimp. It's the roided out
Yeah,
pimp.
yeah, and he is kicking and screaming,
Yep.
and this is as the sheriff is leaving the precinct, and eventually these guys are just like the pimp throws them out the window.
Yeah, like the second or third story window.
Yeah, and they're just hanging on by the curtains, and then the sheriff does not give two shits about this. He's just like,
I'm out.
He's like, man, I'm off the clock. Don't bug me.
I work 15-hour days.
Yeah, and Shadow Stevens is waiting by the car and he's
In the
like,
shadows.
oh,
Yeah, he does kind of Batman him because
Yeah,
he's just like,
yeah.
over here. I like his response. He's like, I'm in the office 15 hours a day. Make a goddamn appointment.
Yeah, and they have this dumb back and forth, like, oh, you want a job? There's no jobs in this town. It's like, well, I'm in the trash. It's like, oh, you're a garbage man. And the line that he has is like,
Garbage you throw away, trash you kill.
yeah. The sheriff's like,
Oh, so you gonna be the trash killer?
okay, well,
yeah.
He's like,
You the cookie
Yeah,
killer.
the cookie killer. I guess
Yeah.
he gets into like something about I
Cookies.
need money for my cookies.
because he's like, you're gonna pay me $10,000, and he's like, what?
Yeah.
For my cookies.
For my cookies? Oh, you the cookie killer?
Oh, a cooking.
Bring me my cookies.
So I guess a verbal contract is struck because
No, because he hires himself.
Yeah, he just decides, well,
The sheriff is like, ha ha ha, cookie killer, whatever.
he's basically, well, the sheriff didn't tell me no.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
But he just drives into town. He's like, well,
time to do some justice, I
Time
guess.
to-
Well, because he runs up on some guys chasing another guy, like trying to kill him, basically. And he's like, the cops are driving by, and this guy's like, please help, save me, protect me. And they're just like, no.
Nah.
And yeah, so he kind of rounds the corner into an alley. Shadow Stevens, Traxx, we're going to call him Traxx. It's
Okay,
easier.
thank you.
Traxx picks him up,
Yeah.
throws him into the garbage, and then proceeds to, like, in silhouette, beat up the two assailants that were chasing him.
yeah,
And the guy's just like, oh, that's amazing. But,
yeah.
and yeah, he's
and
basically,
Trax gives him three options.
oh, yes, the bad guys.
Yeah, he says, be good, be gone, or be dead.
Yep. Which one do you want?
Yeah.
And,
And
they reach for guns.
They draw.
Yeah, they draw their guns. And
Now he just shoots the guns out of their hands.
Yeah. And then continues to shoot the guns down the street.
That's how you do.
And they're just like, why? They take off.
We're gonna be gone.
Yeah.
Run away.
And the guy gets up out of the trash and is like, I'm
Yeah.
Dieter.
Yeah, Dieter. Dieter the black man.
Like, yeah.
Sure, why not?
And this guy was, if I'm right, he's the
that
mayor
actually
in
his name?
RoboCop 2.
he was also in The Guyver. So he's
Okay.
a cast along.
Is he
Yeah.
also Goldie Wilson from Back to the Future?
Yes.
The young version?
I think so.
Dieter.
Maybe.
No, he was
No?
No?
Okay, you already looked that up.
Okay. But
Sorry.
he was the mayor
Right,
of
he
RoboCop
looks,
2.
he looks very similar.
Yeah.
No. But Dieter, basically, Traxx is like, I need a partner. You're that partner
It's going
now.
to be you.
And he's like, I don't know if that's what you don't want to see the places I'm going to go to. He's like, yeah, I do.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're partners now. And the guy's kind of like, all right, because Traxx just kind of like nudges his gun a little bit. He's like, no, you're going to help me now.
And he's always grinning. He's always got this really uncomfortable grin on his face. Traxx does. He's just like, nah, you're going to help me. Yeah.
He's always having fun. He's just a fun-loving kind of guy
Yeah.
who likes to shoot people.
But yeah, so he
Traxx
just-
proceeds to go to a whorehouse,
Yeah.
and he just walks in, and he's just got that grin, and he's like, this seems like my kind of place.
He does that every place he walks in. He walks in and he's just like, all right.
Yeah, it really is. It's
Yeah.
like, my kind of whorehouse.
But he walks into this place, and there's a higher quality of horror in this place than you would expect from a town
From Hadleyville, Texas.
with the outside.
it's the best
chaos.
little whorehouse in Texas.
Yeah.
This place right now is just flush with all of the underlife of this world.
Yeah.
Because they go into this later. So I'm thinking like these are the top quality whores for where they're at.
Okay.
I mean, they've got 300 and something dealers and pushers and all that
For
kind of
this
thing.
one backlot street that they've decorated
Yeah.
to be Detroit.
So I'm saying,
basically.
like, when it starts off,
Fictional city of
'cause
Detroit.
the second place they go, not as good.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, like, as he was cleaning it up, they were, having to call in the second stringers.
Yeah. Because, I mean, he goes in, and, like, he goes to, like, they have this, like, ticket booth where, guys just, like, behind glass taking money, and he busts in through there and throws dude through the window. It's like the penetration budget on this movie is
Oh,
insane.
man. People get thrown through a lot of things.
I mean, like, we stopped counting.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Very
how many
on.
people go through windows in this movie. But
But yeah, there's like 4 guys back there, and he tosses one through the window, tosses another one through the wall.
Yeah.
It's, the little fake wood wall.
Right.
and just destroys these dudes.
and this proceeds to go room to room, just kicking open the door. And he first shoots up a toilet. He's like, toilet's plugged. Get out.
Buddy out.
Mhm.
And so he just keeps kicking doors open. Just like, toilet's plugged.
Well, he keeps kicking open the door and shooting in the air.
Yes.
Yeah, as he's kicking the door open, like
Right.
foot meets door, bang goes gun.
Yeah. And just about every door he kicks open immediately comes back and closes. It's like they didn't even bother to find some way to keep the door propped open. It
Yeah.
was just he kicks open the door immediately slams back shut, and he's just
But
like, get
the
out.
last one he kicks open. Suddenly there's a lady. It's a very bright room, and there's a lady and a bunch of kids in there. And there's a sign on the wall that says "Childcare for Working Mothers."
Yeah.
Then he goes, "Oh,
Oh.
all right."
Yeah.
then
he's,
moves
he's
on to
still
the next
grinning.
room.
He's just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then a guy runs in there and takes one of the kids
like
hostage.
the head pimp or the owner of the
Yeah.
place.
Yeah, it's the owner. He's like, stay back or this little piece of garbage won't see. He's like, how old are you, you piece of garbage? It's like,
Oh, yeah.
5 and a
he's
half.
calling him a piece of shit.
Yeah,
That's
okay,
what's even
yeah.
better. He's like, how old are you, you piece of shit?
5.5.
Actually,
Then he won't live to be 6.
I think he said 12 and a half, did he?
5.5.
5.5.
5.5.
Okay, I thought that was like another little joke, is that the guy couldn't do any math.
Oh, no.
No.
No, they're not that smart.
Okay.
The guy did have to think about it for a second before saying the kid wouldn't live to see
Yeah.
6.
Right.
But
Yeah, he did think for a second. But Traxx shoots the gun out of his
Traxx,
hand.
yeah. He shoots the gun out of his hand and then shoots the guy in the belt buckle a half dozen times until he defenestrates himself out the window.
Yes.
behind
Belt
him.
buckle gunfire defenestration. That's a new one for us.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
says-
We're connoisseurs.
And says, kids, that's what happens when you don't behave.
Yeah. And they're all just like, yay!
Traxx.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
And then he goes outside and gets in the car. He's like, all right, we're next.
Mm-hmm.
And Dieter's like, what the fuck did you just do, man?
Yeah.
And
Is this where he goes around and just starts randomly blowing up places?
Well, there's still stuff randomly exploding anyway, but yeah, he's sort of driving along, just like he throws like a grenade out at one point. But the dudes who were in the ticket booth are outside now, especially the one guy who starts shooting at them, and he hits the brakes and he's just like, oh hell no, and the guy is fumbling trying to reload his gun, and Traxx pulls back up to him as he's fumbling with his gun, and he's just like, "Give me that." And he's just like, "You don't want this. You want a revolver because it's easier in times."
If you're panicky,
Yeah.
you're better off with a revolver.
And then just takes the gun and throws it, and it's just
Yeah.
like, "Get out of here."
Well, but his partner comes to the other window as he's getting the gun actually back to working, shoots him, and then like they catapult launch that guy
Yeah.
backwards. Like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a really good one.
Oh
Good
yeah,
yank on
they
that dude.
really yanked that guy.
And yeah, he just flies back and he's like, "Sorry about that."
Yeah.
And then hands back the gun.
Yeah, it's just like, get out of here.
And then takes off.
Yeah.
Then is trying to cook Dieter cookies later at the house.
And is this when we have the first press conference?
Yeah, where we're introduced to the mayor.
Right.
Yeah, the mayor and the police chief are taking the podium, and the first one it's kind of civil, like we're
Yeah,
like,
it's
well,
kinda
we don't
like-
know who this is, we don't condone this and everything, and
Yeah.
Mayor Cray.
Yep. Air Craig.
Who's
Mayor-
played by Priscilla Barnes from Three's Company.
Yep.
And,
oh yeah, the other Chrissy.
Yeah,
Oh man.
the scrub Christie.
Yeah, don't look at her now.
Ah,
Yeah.
No,
No.
not these
happened.
days.
Yeah, just don't. She's
But
the
yeah,
Joker
so-
now.
she's been stung by a bee.
Aw. But yeah, she
I'm sure she's a nice lady.
they basically say, hey, we don't know what's going on, but we're gonna find this person, and
Yeah.
it's gonna happen. And then as they're leaving, she's like, well, we gotta track this guy down. And the sheriff's just like, yeah, I know who it is.
Yeah.
He came and
He
talked
came
to me
and talked to me,
yesterday.
yeah, I
He told
know.
me he was gonna do this.
Yeah.
She's like, what? Were you gonna let me know about this? Or he's like, nah,
Yes.
He's like, nah, I probably need $10,000.
Yeah.
He's gonna
Yeah.
gonna send you an invoice for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, he's
$10,000.
like,
What? It's only $10,000. That's
Yeah.
cheap.
And this is the first like fall completely flat on his face joke in the movie, because they do he's like, I don't know, just dick her with him or something like that, and she does the look, like turn to the camera and she goes, dick her.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I
Yeah.
don't know, just that.
That's a
What
bad.
the fuck?
That's
is
a bad.
dicker?
Don't look at the camera
Yeah.
unless you're Ferris Bueller. I mean, just, very few movies do that right.
But she'd asked him like, "Well, where is he now?" And he's like, "I don't know, taking a nap."
yeah,
Yeah. And he's just making more terrible cookies.
yeah. And this is about the time where we're introduced to, I guess, the main bad guy,
yeah.
who's played by Robert DeVee,
Yes.
BMFcast alum Robert DeVee.
Our favorite
Yeah. The best.
Is
star of Action Jackson.
Oh, that's right. He was okay. I was like, because I know he's in License
Also in
to Kill.
Showgirls.
Oh yeah, shit.
Mhm.
Okay, he's already. He's definitely
He
ours.
belongs to us.
I just think of mostly License to Kill, and I'm like, that doesn't really count per se.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Die Hard. We've talked about Die Hard enough.
Yeah.
He's ours.
Yeah.
Okay, we.
But either way, he is the mob boss who, I don't know, like he just
Yep.
he doesn't necessarily work, but he's just like he keeps telling people, go kill this guy, take care of this guy, because the scene where they introduce him, he accidentally slams his jacket into the limo door, and the limo starts taking off. So he's running next to the limo, kind of pounding on the window, but the guy has the music turned up too loud. So eventually he yanks out his gun and shoots out the tire, and is like, turn the music down. And then he just he yanks his coat out,
Yeah.
goes inside, and then he's getting both manicure on both hands and pedicure on his feet, and somebody's cutting his hair.
Which he doesn't want.
Yeah, and he keeps
He
like,
just gets annoyed by everything.
Yeah.
yeah, but he's very pissed off. But it's kind of funny the way they're doing it, because like anytime anybody does anything they're supposed to be doing, he's like, cut that out.
Yeah.
Don't do that shit.
Yeah. His first scene is very, very good in making him comedic, which I wasn't expecting. I just figured he was going to be the straight villain in this, but he.
Yeah, and he's telling his accountant what to do.
Yeah.
And eventually, the one guy who Traxx let go and handed him the gun back and let him leave, calls.
Oh, he gives the best resignation ever.
Oh yeah,
At first, this was the turning point in the movie, also where I was like, I didn't know what this movie was rated.
I didn't either.
Because like they go into this crazy whorehouse,
Yeah.
and it's like it's
Everyone's clothed.
it's best little whorehouse in Texas. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, this is totally PG,
Right.
And then this guy gets on the phone, and he's like, this motherfucker, that motherfucker, that.
Yeah.
He's just like,
He's like, oh, this is R.
I'm like,
Okay.
okay, definitely, yes,
Yeah.
all right.
But as he starts his tirade, like ceramic things and glass things in this salon shop den
Yeah.
just start exploding,
It's
and
a-
he keeps getting louder and louder, and things explode more and more and more and more.
Yeah,
And
and he's basically at this point just going motherfucker, 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 and then like till Robert DeVee's like, give me the phone, and then all of a sudden he's just like perfect diction. He's like, I'm just calling to tell you that this man was causing mayhem, and
and I hereby tender my resignation
does get
effective
very
immediately, and I'm going to
Shakespearean at that
Mexico.
and really all he just did was call to give you the common courtesy to tell you that adios, motherfuckers.
Yes.
That's right. Adios, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Because it was like all this, just perfect diction and everything until that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Good resignation.
Yeah. But then Robert Davi's just like, calls the counter. He's like, all right, find out who he's talking about. Have him killed. And the guy starts walking away. He grabs him. He's like, you know what?
Well,
have the guy who called killed too.
He says, "Find that guy," and then he walks away. It starts to walk away, and Davi grabs him and pulls him back and goes, "And have him killed," and lets him go. And then he goes, "And have the other guy killed."
Yeah.
And then pulls him back a third time and goes, "Oh, and have the barber killed too."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey guy, come on, we gotta talk." He keeps going on like talking about whatever, and you just hear,
After
Yeah.
they leave the room.
Yep.
"Oh, this is when I was completely on board with this movie," because I was like, I don't really know where this is going, but
Yeah.
this scene was submitted, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
it's
so,
this movie.
But yeah, so now Traxx and Dieter are buddies.
Mm-hmm.
Traxx is still making terrible cookies. He's trying to make like crab cookies because people eat
Tuna
crab
cookies.
cakes. So why not?
Tuna cookies, yeah, crab cakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just making the world's worst cookies.
Is this the montage?
No,
Not yet.
They're not there yet?
No,
Okay.
that's way later. But
All right.
then it's just the next night. He's like, all right. Goes back into the street, and everyone's still there. He's like, I thought I told you guys to knock this shit off. What are you doing?
He pulls the Punisher at
Yeah.
this point.
And this is when he just starts going into every establishment and just basically they all blow up. It's a montage of him blowing up liquor stores,
No.
blowing up.
He doesn't blow up the
Okay,
liquor
he does not
store.
blow up a liquor store, but he blows up whatever's next door to it.
Yeah.
He blows up the hot porno sex shop, which
Yeah, hot
I
porno
was very
sex, he goes in.
disappointed by because
Price to sell.
price to sell hot porno sex.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
I
blows
mean,
that up.
The best kind.
He
Have
goes
you ever
in-
had hot porno sex?
Yeah, he goes in like he goes in a whorehouse and blows that up. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, he's just going in every single establishment.
Yeah.
And it's like, aren't some of these kind of legitimate?
I'm sure he blows up a tattoo parlor. And it's
Yeah.
like, that's not illegal.
Yeah. But apparently it's scummy.
Yeah, well,
so
yeah, just-
you got to go.
Gotta get, and I like that they keep cutting back to like old white people looking out the window, and like they see something explode, and they're like, "Yay!"
Yeah.
Oh, thank God
They are
he
all
blew up
approving
that
of him.
yes.
warehouse.
Hey, finish
You know,
Traxx.
it's kind of that cleaning up the neighborhood montage,
Right.
but
Oh, I forgot.
taken to the extreme.
I forgot Priscilla Barnes' joke in the first press conference
What's
when
that?
they were like, "Do you think they were accusing? They were like, is this a rogue cop, a maniac cop? You know, one of your guys on your force like taking the law into their own hands?" He's like, "No, our guys wouldn't do that at all." And it's like, "Do you think it's racial related?" And she steps up to the mic. And she's like, "No, he made sure to kill one of every race.
Yeah.
So
This is
nobody would be
absolutely-
offended."
Yeah.
So, no, yeah, she said so nobody can bitch.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just, that was because
forgot
she'd
about
been
that.
silent to that point, and that was like the question she had to feel.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
that's good.
But
Because I think she says, "Oh, this is absolutely racial."
Yeah.
He killed one of every
Yeah,
race.
one of everyone. Equal opportunity.
yeah, but I think that's the one that ends with him going into
He goes into a strip,
strip club.
where we actually get nudity.
yeah.
Not the best. It looks like someone's mother, but
Yeah, but for 30 seconds, you got a naked chick up there.
sure.
Yeah.
That's all right.
And he goes, he's like, excuse me, everybody. And nobody does anything.
Yeah.
And he's got a friggin' Uzi in his hand.
Micros.
Yeah, so he shoots up the bar, and then everyone's like, oh my God. And he goes, all right, all the decent people go to one side, and all the scum go to the other. So everybody runs to one side, and he goes, so you're all scum? And they're like, oh, no. And they all run to the other side.
And he's like, come on now.
Yeah, we're not getting anywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this isn't getting us anywhere. And he goes, all right, I'm just going to give it to you straight here. You don't ever come back here, or I will kill you. And he's like, all right, now leave. And as everyone is filing out, he's just like, all right, thanks for coming.
He's smiling, shaking
Yeah,
their hands.
yeah,
He goes,
he goes-
"Thanks for coming. Come back and I'll kill you."
Yep.
He's like
And
a
he's-
stewardess.
Yeah. He's like, like when you have to greet a whole bunch
Yeah.
of people and you have to keep coming up with something new to say each
Yeah.
time. But each time it's like, yeah, thanks for coming. I'll kill you if you come back.
If you come back, you're dead.
Yeah, like one guy's like, "Oh, especially you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you extra dead.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Chevy Chase Spies Like Us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Hey, hello.
Kiss his
Hi.
ass. Kiss your ass.
Kiss his ass.
Happy hug.
That's from Christmas Vacation. That's not Spies
Yeah.
Like
It's a-
Us.
was it?
Yeah,
Christmas
it is
Vacation.
Christmas vacation.
Oh well, no, he does the same thing. And no, I'm thinking,
thinking
Spies
of Doctors.
Yeah, doctor.
Yeah.
Doctor.
Yeah,
Doctor.
but that feels like one of the few times they let him just go loose improving, and it actually works.
Yeah, because he's grinning like an idiot
Yeah.
throughout this whole thing. And like the dudes who are leaving are like grabbing him and like, both handing
Yeah.
his shoulders like, thanks, man. And
Yeah,
he's like,
and he's just
I'm going to
shaking
really kill you.
everyone's- He's shaking everyone's hand as they're leaving.
Yeah, I did like though when he was telling them, "Come on, guys, we're not getting anywhere." The 30 seconds of strife it causes amongst the group to like convince each other, "Hey, you're a shit bird. You need to go on the other side. I'm staying here."
But I love the press conference the next day.
Oh yes.
Because they're all asking the chief questions, and he's like, "Bullshit." And they're like, "Well, what do you think this?"
The first one, it was like, did he just say bullshit? And then
Yeah.
the second one, he's like, bullshit. Just like, oh yeah, he definitely said it.
He gets
And
to
by the
say
end,
it 4 or 5 times. He's just like, "Bullshit."
By the end, they're
And
not
what-
even
and what
getting the
about
entire question
bullshit?
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
And but what do you think of bullshit? Bullshit.
And then eventually Shadow
Bullshit.
Stevens is hiding in the back. Traxx has a
With a
fake
mustache.
stash on. And he's
Asking
like, "Well,
questions.
sir, if you could give this guy a message,
Yeah.
what do you think it would be?"
And the cops look at him like, "Oh, okay, it's you."
Well, yeah, because he has Shadow Stevens' voice. Right. It's like, tough to disguise that one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so then he's like, "Well, the judges will just take a child molester and give him a slap on the wrist and toss him back out on the street after 5 months of having cable TV and free meals." And yeah,
He goes on a Fox News
yeah,
rant.
he's doing what the judges won't, and all that. And then the mayor's next to him like, "All right, I think we're done answering questions now.
Yeah.
Thanks."
It's like, you just condoned everything he's doing. He's like, whatever, read this note.
He's 2 weeks from retirement.
Yeah, doesn't care.
He does not give a fuck.
No.
yeah, I didn't really completely understand this, but like Shadow Stephen gets the mayor a note,
Yeah.
and then she goes to meet with him. But before that,
Oh, God.
because like we're like, what did the note say? Do they actually know each other? What? And all of a sudden, it's just you're in the smack dab in the middle of a montage.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is that.
It's just like I think there's like something about like, oh, I got to meet him at tomorrow night or something like that, and then it's like random montage.
It's
Yeah.
Cookie and
Dancing.
crazy white people dancing Tai Chi.
Well, yeah, because for a second I was like, is he teaching him how to dance?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what this is a montage of? So
Maybe
he can,
Dieter's teaching.
yeah, Dieter's teaching Traxx how to dance for
be.
the date.
I don't know.
But there's also
No, no.
cookie baking and
Yeah.
other random things going on in
it's
this
just
montage.
the passage of time.
Yeah.
This is how they fill their not shooty time.
Yeah.
Dancing and making
Yeah,
cookies.
but I mean,
Montage.
it's just the strangest spontaneous montage ever.
it is violently thrusted at you. It's just like, oh, God.
Yeah, what just happened?
Montage.
And about this time is this when Robert DeVee has a meltdown in front of all his lieutenants.
That's a bad scene.
Yeah, it shows all the problems that this film has.
It's
because
a good...
it sounds we're making a lot of it sound more fun than it is. Because I mean, certain scenes work. This scene is not one of them.
No, it's not. It's bad and it goes on way too long. It's like 7 minutes of just like him saying how the business is going downhill and laughing, and they're all like, "Oh, it's okay to laugh, ha ha ha," and then him getting mad. But
Yeah,
the
and
only
eventually-
only good thing in the scene is this giant oil painting of Robert DeVee on the wall, which is just like, I hope to God someone gave that to him or saved it or it's somewhere.
It's in the vault
Yeah.
next to the ark.
But yeah,
Go on
the-
eBay right now.
It's
and
actually
find it.
what's inside the ark. Like, that's why people's faces
Right.
melt. They're like, oh my God! Robert DeVee! Cover your eyes. Don't look married.
but
Yeah,
but
but
all it
that-
does is establish that there's these bad dudes in Mexico. And he's like, go get those guys. We need them to come in and put a stop to this because
Yeah.
we made $300.
Yeah, the
last
something brothers, whatever they are.
Yeah. And there's a bunch of scenes of them driving back where
Guzik.
Guzik.
the Guzik brothers. Okay,
Yeah.
so they're in Mexico, and the first time you see them coming back, they're singing.
Guantanamo.
Yeah, and we're like, okay, they're Mexican because they're acting that way.
Well, their name is Guzik. It
Yeah,
could be,
I mean,
you
yeah.
know, like it's.
Yeah, and they're tormenting the assistant guy, and then like there's a
Yeah, we have to mention that they go to the border crossing.
yeah,
And like they pull up to the border crossing and the guy's asleep at the border crossing and they pull up, honk the horn. He's like, oh, what?
huh?
And he walks over and leans down to the window.
Poof, it's David Duchovny.
Well, kind of, yes.
Yeah,
It's like David Duchovny in almost a Chuck Norris makeup
Or
thing.
Chuck Norris and David Duchovny makeup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
either way.
Either way, yeah.
Either way, it's this dude's weird looking.
Yeah, but they hand him like the Looney Tunes bundle of dynamite that they've lit.
Oh, yeah, because he waves them through. He's
Yeah.
like, Do you have anything to declare?
And they're
Yeah.
like, nah.
No.
Well, no, it's not the bundle of dynamite. It's just a single stick, which is what's
No,
funny.
it's a bundle. It's
it's
three
a few
sticks of
sticks.
dynamite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they stop for a second and they point to the back window, and the back window rolls down, and
Here.
he leans in and hands the guy the stick of dynamite, and they drive off.
Yeah, the guy just kind of instinctually takes it,
Yeah,
and
he's
all of a sudden he's like, "Oh
shit.
Oh, I have dynamite in my hand," and he throws it into a taco truck.
Yeah, because
Right
the
by
lady is like, yo, burritos, right?
yeah, like
And he's just like,
this is like the shittiest guard shack.
Yeah.
But there, for whatever reason, there's the taco truck there.
Well, that's what it made me laugh. The
Yeah.
whole gate thing was just, just sleepy guy in
Yeah.
front of a stick. It's just like, hey,
Yeah.
you
And-
going into America?
And then but then it's like he throws it in the taco truck, and then this is the biggest explosion of the movie.
It's a pretty good one.
Fucking
Yeah,
huge.
it's pretty good. Although it takes 15 seconds for it to happen, which is
Yeah.
a problematic thing in this movie. The timing is off, but yeah, eventually the shack just fucking napalm goes off in that
Yeah.
shack. So
This is
Yeah,
our
the lady was made of gasoline.
Yes.
Is what we determined.
yes, she had blood type gasoline.
Blood type 93 octane.
type diesel.
Yeah, so they're coming. But then in the next scene, they're southern white trash people.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, all right.
Yeah, they
they were
abandoned
just
the whole
in
Mexican
Mexico.
thing
Yeah,
quickly.
so.
Yeah, but they torment the Ted from accounting, Robert DeVee's Ted from accounting,
Yeah, a lot.
and
Make him sing.
yeah, that's the whole
And
thing.
they hit some bikers with a bat.
Oh yeah, just to prove how bad they are. They
bicyclists,
Yeah.
cyclists, because I mean, these are just it's like one of those the tours you see on the side of the road.
Yeah, they're just playing mailbox baseball with with cyclists, just hitting them all, and then one guy ducks, and he's like, "Ha-ha," and so they just shoot him.
Yeah, just one of many scenes.
Yeah.
because they stop off his bar and just
Yeah, they destroy it.
destroy this bar too.
Yeah.
Many scenes with them.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think. There was another scene. Was it them that did it? Like there was a scene where there was the lady on the stretcher. Was that the?
Oh no,
Guzik
that
brothers?
was the first early on, just a car, like a clown car full of mobsters
Okay.
shows up while Traxx is just cruising through town, and 8 of them pop out of all the windows. They're
Right.
like, "Ha ha!"
But they do this thing like doctors are pushing this patient on a cart across the street.
She's the fruit cart.
Yeah, but Traxx stops, but they don't.
Yeah.
and they just plow over this lady and murder her.
And then the car flips.
The car rolls
they
over
all
and,
die.
and it's like scene in.
Yeah.
But so we've had two completely innocent bystanders. I mean, there probably was a bunch in when it was Murder Town, USA. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, on screen, we've had two completely innocent bystanders. This poor hurt lady on the cart, and also taco truck lady.
Yeah.
Probably border guard too, because that was a big ass explosion.
Flat out dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But
then
anyway.
bicyclists they shot.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple
Yeah.
people. Anyway,
They're bad dudes.
but
You bad dude.
so we've had the montage. Okay, so yes, now the mayor goes to the library for their whatever date.
They're meeting.
Yeah.
Their meeting, and I don't know. This scene is crazy because she goes in and he's reading about cookies, of course, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because he's like, my recipe just isn't working.
yeah,
Yeah.
all of a
Find
sudden
some
it's
better
like
ones.
they lock eyes, and she's like, "I've got to have you, Traxx."
She took ecstasy on her way in. I mean,
Yeah.
she
Yeah,
just
probably.
everything he says is just like, Ugh.
Because she's like, I can't have sexual relations with my constituency.
Yeah.
Their constitution.
Yeah,
Yeah. But she's like, you're not a voter.
yeah.
And he's like, my rocks taste like cookies.
I
She's
mean-
like, ooh. And he's like, no,
Yeah.
I mean, my cookies taste like rocks. And she's like,
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah.
Starts tearing her clothes off.
Yeah, and then the entire room Ghostbusters the fuck out
Well,
because the books start flying off the shelf.
they fall behind a table. The table falls over, and then immediately just clothes coming out of a T-shirt cannon are just flying up in the air. And then all the library
Yes.
cards start
Yeah,
Ghostbusters.
the card catalog goes crazy.
and then the
books fly out.
fountain outside just goes.
Yep.
Yep.
And then it cuts back inside, and the card catalog.
Yeah,
Did you say the card
Yeah.
catalog?
Yeah, the card catalog and
Sorry.
the books. And
but they're
everything,
still
Yeah.
flying around, and
Just
it's
Yeah.
goofy ass sex scene of no sex. That's why this movie's rating is so hard to determine
Yeah,
exactly
it's
what it
very
is.
odd.
So then I think, is this at the point where we have the quick news break where the guy is like
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Gusick twins are coming back into town.
murdered an entire little league team in a point shaving scandal, and
year ago.
they're on their way back to town. Look out, cowboy!
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Also, somewhere along the way, Dieter has convinced him to merchandise himself. Like, if you're not going to get paid by the cops, there should be merchandising because people are behind you.
Yeah.
So at this point, like throughout the rest of the movie, Dieter's wearing a Traxx T-shirt, and there's pennants and bumper stickers and all kinds of things.
Little toy machine guns.
Yeah, and eventually, like at some point, I think it's after. Yeah, it's like one of the next scenes, but
Well, let's talk about it.
yeah. Traxx rides into Robert DeVee's house.
Oh God,
On a
I forgot
motorcycle.
about this.
Robert DeVee is in bed with hand weights working out while I guess it's his wife, is thumbing through like a Playboy or something. And he's like, no, that's not doing it for me. No, 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 no. And then
She's also giving him a hand job.
Yeah,
I know,
Yeah.
but she is going through.
She says this is going to help my tennis stroke.
Yeah. What I'm saying, there's several layers of chaos happening in this scene. And then finally he's like, all right, flip over, I'm ready. And just like starts to attack her. And then, he Chuck Norris's through the window on a motorcycle.
Or Brian Bosworth.
That too.
Yeah.
Either way.
And they both pull out guns, which he, of course, shoots out of their hands.
And then he shoots the rollers off her head.
And she's like, very funny. And he's like, no, I'm Traxx. And so
And he
he's
gives
like,
him these like, you got one day, you got 24 hours to get out of town.
no, you're forgetting the most important part of this scene.
Okay.
Because he's like, get them up. Get them up. Get them up. And they're raising their hands. But as that's happening under the blanket, Robert DeVee is growing...
He's getting incredibly
massive
turned
erection.
on.
Ron Burgundy is aroused. I mean, it's just... He has a massive erection.
hello.
And that's present throughout the rest of the scene.
They have fun moving that around with Robert DeVee too.
He's kind of not paying attention to being threatened. He's sort of looking under the blanket like, hey, check this out.
And the wife or mistress is like,
Yeah. It's just one of those things that it's...
Eventually,
Doesn't he tell her,
eventually he's like, I got to ride out of here or something like that. Like, you've got 24 hours to get out of here. And he leaves, but he doesn't go back out the window. He starts driving through the house, which I'll get to in a second.
rides through the door.
Right,
Yes.
but as he's leaving, wife's like, what do we do? And he's like talking to the microphone.
Yes.
It's just one of those lines.
Yeah.
I don't, yeah, whatever.
And then he runs into the dude's kid,
Yeah.
who is just a living train wreck is the only way to describe him.
He's Archer after the Wild Night. Because, like, he's just got
Yeah.
shit painted all over his face.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah, he's wearing like the Steve Martin
Yeah.
arrow through the head.
And he's got like just stuff written all
He's
over
wearing
him
a
and
diaper
signs,
and-
and it's just like he's like the worst punk ever.
I don't, yeah,
Or
like I
best
said,
punk ever.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But they just have some weird exchange, and then the kid shoots Traxx in the back,
yeah,
and
it's-
Traxx shoots the gun out of his hand, and then shoots the ends off both the arrow in his head.
Yeah, I don't
yeah,
know.
and it's an exchange that's like shows how they have no comedic timing whatsoever
Yeah.
in this movie because you could tell they're pausing for laughs, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like you kind of have to tell a joke before you do that.
Yeah, you have to say something
Yeah, you have
amusing.
to say something funny
Yeah,
before you can do that.
and
And
there's not.
snappy.
they don't. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, eventually he just ends up shooting him,
yeah.
and then Shadow Stevens just drives off.
And I remember you saying, "Did he shoot him?"
Yeah.
And then the next scene explains that very well.
Yeah, it does.
Because he rides, you see him riding into camp, and then he rides right through the middle of camp, like over the sleeping bags and everything, straight into a tree, and then slumps over.
Yeah.
So it's like, for all of the terrible comedic timing in the last one, this is fucking brilliantly shot.
Oh yeah.
Because we're like, did he get shot? It's like the Shadow Stevens dummy goes, whoop boom.
Yes.
He rides through the campfire.
yeah, just
Straight
through
into the tree
everything,
and then just plop.
yeah, 'cause
Straight
we're like,
over.
What? What just happened? He's like, oh,
Yeah.
he's been shot.
Yeah, Dieter's like, man, you've been shot. He's like, that's impossible. And it's like, no, here's your blood. He's like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
So
there's
then
this crazy,
Dieter has to cut it out.
yeah, crazy scene
Yeah.
of like heating up the knife and all of it, like him Traxx getting drunk and
I liked this scene, I think, more than you guys, because it just goes to a long shot by the fire of Traxx on his stomach and Dieter like with the knife going to carve out the bullet. And Traxx starts screaming, and then Dieter starts screaming like they're fucking wolves. They're just both just like, ah! It's just dumb. But then he's all right.
Yep. So the next day, the what are their names? The Gutex brothers?
Guzik.
Guzik brothers.
Yeah.
Gore-Tex brothers show up.
Yep.
And they roll into town. They meet with Robert DeVee, and they've killed the driver, and they've still got the Ted from accounting hostage. And then Robert DeVee's like, I want you to find this guy, and I want you to cut him up into little pieces. And they're like, wait a minute. No, you're not. No, you don't get to tell us what to do. You don't tell Picasso how to paint. You don't. You don't do that.
You don't tell Mailer how to write.
Yeah.
And then
You don't tell Mikhail Baryshnikov how to toe
how to
dance.
toe
How to
dance.
toe dance.
and he pauses for a minute. He's like, "Oh, you liked that one, didn't you?"
And then Robert DeVee's like, all right, hey, I appreciate you guys do what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun.
Yep.
So then they immediately kidnap a Little League team again.
First shooting the coach as he's teaching them how to
Throw a
a
curveball, yeah. And then they
And
just
it's one of
round
those
him
where
up.
you know the dude's getting shot by
Yeah.
the end of that scene.
Yeah, but they round him up like cattle. Like, and it's shot that way too, of just like herding cattle, and then they just put him in a horse trailer, and that's the end of that scene. You're like, all right. And then this is when Robert DeVee shows up at their campsite,
Yes.
which
Yeah, this
he's being led to the campsite by a
by a
hound
bloodhound.
dog
Yeah.
that he's got on a very long leash.
That is in front of the car.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
Yes. Then he just lets go and the dog runs off.
Yep.
yeah.
And he gets out and he's just like, "Oh, you're making cookies, huh? Well, I could threaten everyone in town, to eat your cookies or I'll kill them. We could get into business together." And he's like, "Nah, I'm not doing that."
Yeah, and he's like, here, try one of the cookies.
Yeah. It's like, "Oh, it's a familiar ingredient in this."
It's like, yeah, it's chili. He's chili cookie, chili con cookie.
Yeah. He's like, "Oh, these are very good." And he's like, "I'm not going into business with you."
Yeah.
He's like, actually, these are terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes, yeah, they're a little heavy on the chili.
Yeah. He's like, "Bleh, this is terrible cookies. Fuck
Yeah.
you."
Yeah, he goes, I could threaten people to eat these with a gun, and they still wouldn't eat them.
Right. And
Then he gets in the car.
he gets in his car and he says,
Hey, Traxx.
"Here's what I think about your cookies," and just bad comic fart for like 15 seconds.
Yep.
And you're like, "Okay, movie, there's your fart joke." And then he goes to light a cigarette, and the car fucking goes up like a neutron bomb. Just
Methane.
Yeah. That fart was laced with napalm.
Death by fart.
Yeah.
it's like,
But yeah, the bad guy of our movie just blew himself up
There's
with
still,
his
like-
own fart.
there's like 30 minutes left in this movie.
Yeah.
And he's gone. I mean, he does not like roll back later with just a comically burning car.
No,
and his clothes smoking. No, he's dead.
He blew his dumb ass up with a fart.
Yes, that sentence just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And we're all just kind of we were laughing, but we were just stunned. We're like, holy shit, they actually did that.
But see, that's the thing about this movie. You know it's jokey, but it's one of those movies that you still don't know when the jokes are coming exactly. And I sure as hell was not expecting that. Like the fart, fine. I was like, yeah, that's not above this movie. But then him lighting the cigarette and fucking exploding was just.
I
mean,
think we need to get Mythbusters.
like the fact that someone wrote that down in a script and like some studio exec was
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's pretty good. Make that
Dino
movie.
De Laurentiis
Yes.
signed off on this.
Exactly. So, man, it doesn't get any better than that from this point on.
Yeah. Well, after that, you've got all the brothers
Yeah.
who have kidnapped these kids.
At this point, they just
Well, Traxx is like giving up. He's gone back to town, which is like now deserted
Mm-hmm.
because I guess these guys have rolled into town. He's
Yeah.
at the grocery store. The mayor and the sheriff go running up because the deputy calls in, who's I guess been sitting in his car for days
he's
trying to.
on a stakeout. He's like, I'm gonna catch this guy.
So he's like, oh, I found him. I'm going to get him. And they're like, wait, no, and don't get him in time. So they go running down the street to catch him at the grocery store. And he's like, no, I'm done. I've been shot. This is new. I don't like this. And they're like, but they kidnapped the Little League team, and you've got to save us. And it's another scene where she's all over him and awkwardly,
Well, they get
whatever.
they get their jackets intertwined.
Yes.
So
Well,
that
because
when
she jumps on him like she mounts him mid aisle and then like wraps his jacket down and then catches herself in it.
she's
and
like, let's cover ourselves with waffle batter and mustard.
or something like that.
Yes, no, that is
That
exactly what she said.
That's really what she said. Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
That is exactly what she said.
Okay. But
Very
yeah,
specific line.
sure. I have to remember that one.
Well, yeah, because she saw his flesh for a second when he showed her the bullet wound. and
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Could
she
not
was just
handle
like,
it anymore.
dear sweet Jesus, I have to have more tracks.
Track snacks.
So, but that's when the whatever the hell are
The Gucci brothers.
Gucci brothers, yes. The Gucci brothers roll down the
Vortex
street.
brothers.
The Gusick brothers roll down the street, and they have tied the Little League team around a Cadillac.
Yes.
Like to make a protective barrier, and they're just chucking grenades out the side of this.
Yeah.
And about that time, that's when they're like, "Hey, Traxx, come on, they're out here, get them."
Mm-hmm.
And
That's when Dieter gets shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they go, "Where's your gun?" He's like, "It's over there."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, all right."
Yeah.
Bang.
well,
Yeah, and
they're-
they just start shooting.
Yeah.
well, they're
But
about
they
to
don't shoot
they're-
him.
Yeah, they're about to shoot him, and then like Dieter jumps out with the gun and is
Right.
like, "Hey!" and tries to shoot him, and they just light him up. And then, like as he's going down, he throws the gun to Traxx, and
Yeah.
he shoots at him, and they take off.
Right.
Well, and they say, "Be at
Yeah.
wherever at the whorehouse in an hour."
Yeah.
And they're like,
They-
"All right." He goes,
yeah.
"Okay," and then they run over. They're getting Dieter. They got to get Dieter out of the street
Yes.
and off to the hospital.
Before you say the big joke, I want to say the joke that I thought was great before they nailed it with the next joke was that the deputy has now turned and is just like, "Oh yeah, we're with you, Traxx," and he like leans down to, I guess like listen to see if he's breathing, but he puts his ear right on the wound because when he comes back up, he's just covered in the side of his head is covered in blood. So all he did was listen to the bleeding wound. I just for some reason they paid no attention to that joke. I thought it was it was pretty good.
I also love what that guy said earlier. Once he found out that the Little League team had been
Oh, yeah,
kidnapped,
it's like,
he
"It's got my
goes-
boy."
Yeah, he goes, "Oh my god, well they got my boy. He can't hit for shit, but I still love him."
yeah, that's what flips him. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But,
they
yeah.
throw Dieter into the cop car, and they're like, "Man, he's losing a lot of blood." And he looks down at him. He's like, "How much you think he's lost?" He's like, "I don't know, about a liter." And then like Traxx stops and
It's
goes
all serious.
very serious, and he goes, "So, Dieter's lost a liter."
It's so terrible. It's so great.
he's so sincere when he says it. He's like,
It's like the only sincere line delivery that he has in the entire movie is Dieter's lost a leader.
Something you know why all of a sudden they were like, "I don't care who you cast, the guy's name is Dieter."
yeah, it suddenly made
Get
sense.
anyone. It doesn't matter. His name is Dieter. I got this joke.
God, I'm just amazed Shadow Stevens didn't look in the camera and then like a gleam would just shine off his teeth or something when he smiled. Just ding.
I guess his name could have been Peter, but whatever.
Either way,
Doesn't
it's more fun
matter.
to say Dieter.
Yeah.
But
Holy God,
yeah,
that line.
so then this leads to from there on, it's just he has to go take care of these guys, and the kids are all tied up front, so he just shoots the rope from like up on a balcony. He just shoots the rope, and the kids are like, "Yay!" and just run away.
They all run away.
safe.
Well, he kind of gives them the thumbs up from
Yeah.
up on the roof.
Yeah, he gives him the gun salute. He's always saluting with his gun.
Yeah,
He's
which-
always just like, "Way to go!"
Which is going to
kids."
go wrong.
Yeah, it's the
for
worst
Traxx
thing you
one
can
day.
do. But
Yeah.
He's going to carve a canoe out of the top of his skull.
But he hops through a window, and it's the Oh no, he jumps onto the roof.
Yeah.
oh,
And the roof collapses.
Roof collapses, and he lands on top of the television of the old couple that we keep seeing, like going, "Yay! They're cleaning up the bad elements in the town."
yeah.
And he's standing on top of their old television, and he's like, "Do I smell cookies?" And she's like,
They're tuna macaroons.
"Yeah," like something equally stupid. He's like, "I'll be back later," and all of a sudden the TV goes and falls down another flight or another floor.
Yeah, and he lands in the bar, and
Yeah.
they're just like, And they are trying. Two of them are trying to wake the third brother up by hitting him over the head with bottles, and they probably hit him with 12 bottles. Like even after they've moved on and started doing dialogue in the scene, they're still just picking up bottles and just smacking this guy.
Yep.
Like even after he starts to stir, they are still like, "Got one more bottle, smash."
We pay for this many sugar bottles.
Yeah.
We're going to use them all.
Yep.
And then it's
Yeah, I don't know.
Then
Like,
he challenges him that he lands. He's still standing on the TV
Right.
as
Yeah.
it's fallen. The TV is still on.
Yeah. He's like-
broadcasting the program. And
I'm still amazed they didn't use like a on TV joke. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
the fact that he's standing on top
Yeah.
of a television.
yeah, but he's just like fist or guns.
I've seen you on TV. I can see you on the TV right now. Like,
Hey, come
Yeah.
on, you should have written Traxx.
just saying, it's right there.
Yeah, But
Traxx 2.
he's like fists or guns, and they're like fists, and he throws away his guns, and they're like
Guns!
the guns, and he's like, oh shit,
yeah. So he dives behind a table.
where his guns are.
Yeah, and
And
they
they-
dive behind sandbags in
Yes,
the bar because sandbags have been set up in the bar because
Sure.
why not?
Yeah.
Why, of course.
And they're
it's
shooting
fine.
at each other, and meanwhile the TV is having a broadcast about some doctor saying how ultra-violent men
Sociopaths,
having
yeah.
sociopaths have incredibly small penises.
Yeah.
And that if you were to ever pull down a sociopath's pants, all you'd find is a little tiny. She said you wouldn't even find a handful.
Yeah.
You know?
And they're
And
all
they
basically
all-
like watching this.
They've all stopped
stopped
shooting, and they've
yeah.
slowly stood up.
Yeah.
Then they're looking at the TV, and finally one of the brothers is just like, "Fuck you!" and shoots up the TV.
Yeah.
And then Shadow Stevens realizes, "Oh yeah, we're in a gunfight, aren't we?"
Yeah.
And has to dive back behind the table.
Well,
again.
don't they somehow like he just kind of they think they run out of bullets.
They
and
all run out of bullets.
Yeah, they
These
all
are
run out
just
of
like
bullets
click,
at the
click,
same
click, click.
time.
Then they run outside and like get into their cars and have basically a joust with guns.
Well, they run outside and they've got like they just run to their car and grab machine guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he runs outside and he's like, oh.
You go to distract them.
Oh yeah. yeah.
He goes, "Look out, gonorrhea!" And they all turn around and look at the sky where he's pointing. And
And he runs off and gets in his car.
Yeah.
Drives off.
he gets in his car and shoots at them. And then
Yeah. I mean, they drive
Didn't
around.
he do something like that, like in the very beginning of the movie, when
Well,
he
they
was
did-
going
when they
through
were doing
El
all
with the
Salvador or
dogs,
something?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, have you seen a dog?
Oh, yeah.
with a white
that,
leg.
that joke
But I
was
think he
terrible.
just like pointed at the sky and said, "Look out, something."
Sure, why
Mm.
not? But they drive around the back lot, crash through a couple of buildings. It plays like Dukes of Hazzard music while they're doing this.
Yep.
And all of a sudden they get to this like dirt area and they start car jousting.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're driving full on, but not at each other, just side by side and shooting at each other.
Yep.
Until I guess they all run out of bullets, and then they get the bright idea of like, I guess we're gonna drive by with the comically large stick of dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
And like as they're going by, they're about to chuck it into his car. He shoots at their hand or whatever, and make them drop it, so that it lands in the car. And he's just kind of like, "Yeah, all right, see ya." And they drive into a barn, and it's not even as big an explosion as the taco
No.
truck.
But they blow up.
Yeah, they blow up, and they're done.
And then the town celebrates.
Yeah, pretty much.
Street festival.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a very. The song is like victory. Yeah,
Victorious.
Victorious. Yeah.
Victorious.
Notorious.
and he has his own bakery now.
Snacks by Traxx.
Or Traxx,
Yes.
Traxx snacks.
Yeah.
No, Snacks by
Snacks
Traxx.
by Traxx. Okay.
Mhm.
Because the mayor announces it to the
Yeah.
town.
Yeah.
Very lustfully.
Oh, well, she's just grasping the mic. Like, do you want his cookies?
Oh, anything phallic when she's talking about him, she's
Yeah.
constantly stroking something because eventually she's carrying around a stuffed whale from the carnival that is
Jesus.
erupted in the middle of town, and she's just stroking the tail.
Yeah.
And then like Famous Amos comes into his shop. The actual
The actual famous
Famous
Amos.
Amos comes into his shop and is like,
It doesn't even make sense. He's selling. Okay, first of all, Traxx is
"Why
selling.
doesn't anyone recognize what he looks like?" I mean, I was like, "Dude, I
like
didn't know what Famous." Amos
Well,
He's
he's
famous.
famous.
Yeah.
How would you not know who
I,
Famous Amos is?
I've seen his product. I've tasted his product. I've seen the silhouette on his product. I had no idea what the guy himself actually looked like.
Now you do.
Now I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
He's
yeah,
famous.
he comes in, and Traxx is now selling cookies shaped like dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
They're like puppy swirls.
Yes,
And,
puppy swirls.
and he's like, why would anyone want these? But Famous Amos comes in and buys one and goes outside and is eating it. And I guess the deputy is like, hey, you're Famous Amos. And he's like, yeah, I might be in trouble with this guy. Pardon me a second. And then just off camera just goes, "Hurrah!"
Yeah, vomits out the cookie.
While the deputy sort of pats him on the back, like, oh, it's okay, Famous Amos.
Hold his hair.
Yeah.
Mr. Amos.
But then it's like this really weird final shot from a Ferris wheel, and it goes around twice. It like kind of gives you that '90s ending of like the raised up crane shot.
Yeah.
Where all things are happening, but then it goes around a whole other time.
Yeah. It's like, hey, this was hard to set up. We got a cameraman on this Ferris wheel.
But then, like, when it goes around again, it
Yeah.
looks like the cameraman is flung off because the camera moves in a very odd way.
It's-
That second, yeah.
Who knows?
We
yeah.
don't know,
But
but
yes.
either way, it rolls into the credits with the Traxx theme song,
Mhm.
which we didn't even mention from the opening credits.
No,
Right.
it's time to mention it now because it's the right time of the show to talk about that.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Hey, if you're dealing with a bunch of maniacs, send them to Traxx.
It's
It's
I-
extremely
If
Stargirl-y.
you've won
Yeah.
too many awards and your wall is full of plaques.
Well, it's time to call Traxx because he's going to get one more. He gets
Yep.
Stargrove.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Traxx song
This is
definitely.
going on the 2014 soundtrack.
It's the title track.
Soundtracks.
Title
the
tracks.
title tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to be called 2014 BMFcast Hot Tracks?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm writing that now.
because what else do they say? If your cigarettes come in packs, you probably
No,
got
you
'em
said
from
that
Traxx.
Oh yeah, we've made up so many now. I don't even know what
Yeah.
the
We don't
original
even
ones
remember
were.
the real ones were, but they're just like they're stupid.
Yeah,
and
they
they're
are
great.
stupid. Yeah.
Because they got a song, where it's just like it's an '80s hit song, and then the guy kind of comes into the bridge, and he's
He's just shouting.
he's just like,
Yeah.
"If you've got the maniacs, time to call Traxx."
Yeah.
If you need all the facts,
Yeah.
you better
Better
get in
call
touch with Traxx. So yeah, it's a Stargrove.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that and the
rest of the
Victorious
soundtrack.
song.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying the Victorious song is pretty Stargrovey too.
Yeah, because you hired.
Victorious.
Hey, we were victorious. Go get a band to come in and sing a song about being victorious at our street festival.
Victorious.
Which I love that they're having in the burned out, bombed out downtown area that they're in. Yeah. Traxx.
Anyway. All right, let's rate the rest of it.
Who goes first? Why is it always me?
I'll go.
Okay.
I will give this movie 4 jocks. I want to give it 5 because I enjoyed the hell out of this movie, but it has a level of ineptitude to it. Because you don't know the jokes are coming, I think that makes them funnier. But sometimes you see it and it's like, that could have been done a hell of a lot better. And there are some scenes, like the Priscilla Barnes looking in the camera thing, where it's just like, oh God, that was just the most painful thing ever. So there are scenes that fall completely flat, and there are jokes that could have been done better. But man, the stuff that hits is really solid. And the fact that they don't shy away from actually doing a bunch of violent stuff, like the amount of explosions and defenestrations going on in this movie is amazing.
Yeah.
We haven't watched serious action movies
all
with
bloodless.
it. Yeah, it is.
It's weird in that way.
Yeah.
But there's still crazy carnage going on everywhere.
Sure. But I mean, like, they got into trouble, like, when they were rounding up the kids. It was like, okay, movie, you're crossing a line a little bit here. So, like, if you were just doing RoboCop level violence in this, the jokes would not be working.
Yeah.
No.
So,
But yeah, I agree with you at 4 jocks. And you pretty much were saying most of the things I was thinking in that, you know, this was written by the guy who wrote Raw Deal and Running Scared. And Running Scared especially is like an example of, all right, when you have people that know how to do comedic timing and can deliver lines and the filmmaking is edited around that, those jokes are sold in a way that nothing is sold in this one.
yeah.
Like the jokes just kind of happen.
Yeah, they do. They just sort of, like,
And-
fall out of the actors'
And they're
mouths.
well written enough that they work.
Yeah.
You know, but a lot of them, like, if you're leaving the actors to try and deliver material that's not as good and try and sell it later, like, they do Robert DeVee no favors in a lot of scenes.
Yeah.
And a lot of the other actors, too. They just kind of hang them out to dry as far as that. So that stuff gets painful, but all the other stuff is so good that it's easily a 4 jocks movie.
I'm torn because I think it's almost a 4 jocks movie for me, but I think it's really just a high 3.
All right.
It's ridiculous and there are lots of laughs, but there's just something that
Parts of it are very pedestrian.
something that very much hurts my soul about some parts of some parts of this movie, and so it's good, and I would watch it again, but not quite. You know,
Yeah, I think
4
we're going
jocks
to
is getting up there.
we're going to remember this more fondly
yes,
than our ratings show as time goes on.
most likely.
Yeah.
Also, we're going to rhyme things with snacks.
Of course we are.
And
Forever.
Traxx.
This is exactly my kind of movie. I'm not going to give it 5 jocks, but I now have a new companion piece to go along with Hudson Hawk, because this movie is so very, very close to that. It's so much in that exact same wheelhouse. And the funny thing is, like, this movie mostly works, but it doesn't 100%. So I'm going to give it the 4 jocks as well. It's just funny to see, like, you can have Hudson Hawk, you can have this, or it can go horribly, horribly wrong, and you have Leonard Part 6. Yeah, and this movie is so much further on the good side of that. Like, if you want to see the most painful, even with obviously not only a comedian, but a master comedian falling flat on his face with delivery, you watch Leonard Part 6.
Yeah.
And this is the center fucking square of Hollywood. No, he wasn't even the square. Well, he was later, but, like, he was the fucking announcer.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like this is nobody. He had no business being funny or good, and he does a better job at this than, like, Bill Cosby did.
He's capable.
You know, so I'm just saying, like, I don't know how I never saw this movie, because this is exactly the kind of movie I would have loved and watched a lot of times.
And there's funny stuff we haven't even talked about, like when he throws the bomb in the place and it says, "This is a bomb."
Yeah.
And the guy's like, goes out to the window. He's like, "Quit fucking with us. It's not a bomb." And he's like,
This isn't a Richard Pryor skit.
yeah. And he's like, "You want to bet?"
So you better learn to fly.
So he goes, "You better flap your arms and learn to suck some sky."
Yep.
It's like, what? Kaboom!
The guy gets launched out the window.
Yeah. I can only imagine it was like the last week for that set on whatever backlot they were on,
Oh.
and they were just like, light this fucker up.
They do.
I want explosions in every window, because that scene when he's recruiting Dieter, and you just the camera's on him the entire time, and you're just seeing flashes and hearing explosions going off
I'm sure
in the
that was
background.
just Foley, but I mean, like,
Still.
guy with a light.
Yeah, but it's
just
still a good
yeah.
gag.
It's
Yeah.
I think there may have been more explosions in this movie than any of our other movies.
That's what I'm saying. There is more action going on in this stupid comedy movie than a lot of the movies we've ended up watching.
I don't understand where this place is. I mean, it looks like the worst part of Detroit, but
Yeah.
with the actual level of violence of like Baghdad in the middle of a bombing.
Right.
So I don't.
It's like
bizarre.
Fallujah,
Yeah.
if it was in Texas.
Yeah, Fallujah, Texas.
Fallujah, Texas. There might actually be
There
one.
probably is a Fallujah, Texas.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All
But
right.
you'll have some difficulty finding it, but it's worth it.
Fallujah, Texas? Yes.
Yeah.
Both.
let's take a break.
Okay.
Traxx. Now it's time to relax.
Check the facts.
Do we get a fax?
We have a fax machine?
No, the facts. Facts. Fact checking.
Factices.
But I can only say facts
Right.
because it has to rhyme with tracks.
Fax.
Best.
Tracks. This is tracks.
Take off that fucking jacket.
So, it looks like everybody else took off. How about that? I don't know why they would. But, stick around. We're going to have a second half. You may have chewing some gum. Smacking it. If you got any questions, just let me know. You fucking kidding me? Wait, there it is now. Now it is back, but it's way behind now.
Yeah.
Like it's to the point where there's nobody in the room. At least on mine.
Did it hit the live button?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
This thing, man, what is up with his internet? 'Cause we-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any manner of fuckery. And we'll have more for next week in case we don't have any emails.
Where's all the banter?
We're bantering.
We're just discussing.
Some banter. Hot banter.
Okay, yeah, that one I'm not going to read because I already talked to him about that.
All right. Podcast.
Is it streaming again?
Was it not?
Yeah. Well, Mackie said he saw like a please stand by.
I saw two 2015 movies.
And that.
What? No, I don't know if it's streaming or not because everybody left the fucking studio. I'm gonna go with no.
Is the counter moving?
Wow. It's live like way.
I'm confused. I don't know what's going on.
Wow. It's suddenly like. Yeah, it's Chuck. It just did you waving the hand.
Oh, Jesus.
That's how far back the stream is.
Good Lord.
But it also just paused on me. Like it's is once again I got to ask, is other stuff updating or anything like that?
Nope.
Because it's herky jerky.
All I did was turn my phone off airplane mode. There's nothing
You
my phone
son of
could
a
be-
bitch.
Nothing my phone could be doing.
Alright, I'm shutting that. I'm basically shutting everything down, but
Shut it down. Yeah, just stop the stream.
people are watching.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody's digging with their phones. That is about where we are.
Okay.
No, I was just like, everybody's on their phone, and I just walked in. So I was like,
All
y'all
right.
are all just digging with your phones.
Yeah. Hot dickings.
Dickering?
Still a bad joke.
I know.
There's no way to make that joke work.
It's funnier when we get to look at the camera, though. Because we're allowed to.
Dickering.
We're not playing any character. Well, we might be playing characters.
Okay,
We're all playing
what was the found footage movie that you really liked that was making fun of ghost hunters?
Grave Encounters 1 and 2.
Somebody actually recommended that as a terrible movie for us to watch.
Well, don't read that email.
Oh, okay.
For a new
I wouldn't say really liked it. I thought the concept was good.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than a lot of that shit.
Okay, I'm gonna talk about.
As far as I'm concerned, it's better than James Wan.
Juan.
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 Everybody fucking seems to love him.
I'm gonna talk about the comic book movies.
I guess we better start to love him too now, though.
Yeah, we probably should. You guys heard what they're doing to Fast 7, right?
Was his brother or something? I heard something.
No, they're
No,
just
they're not killing him off in the movie.
they're writing him out. They're retiring his character. So there will probably be a scene where he drives off, and then they will just explain he left.
So I guess
Yeah.
Jordana Brewster gets to leave too.
Probably.
Yeah, that's kind of what everyone said.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Which
I mean,
kind of sucks for her. I mean, she didn't do anything wrong, but
yeah. But really, I mean, killing the guy off is just icky.
it is
In
kind
a
of
way.
icky. But holy God, if they did that, I would be so motivated just to want to kill Jason Statham myself.
Yeah,
You know,
it's true.
You want to give your movie some weight. Like shit got real. I mean, I understand you're doing it out of necessity, but
The guy already killed Han. You know this.
yeah, in the past, future.
Yeah, in the past future.
Retconned his way into killing him.
Days of Future Past.
All right. Ready when you guys are.
Yeah, stream is what it is. I can't fix it.
That's fine.
If it's working, if it's
yeah,
working,
we'll
Just
it's
leave it.
working.
If it works, it
deal with
works.
it
If
some other
other
point.
people doesn't, it doesn't.
We have a podcast that people can listen to on Fridays.
We do.
We do.
It's called the BMFcast.
Oh.
You guys should check it
Oh,
out.
sweet.
Yeah.
That's cool. Is it
Cool.
on the internet?
Yep. You can find it at bmfcast.com.
We should monetize that in the same way the YouTube channel's been monetized.
Okay.
As in, not at all. So
Cool.
Groovy.
that works, right?
Yeah.
All right. Ready when you are, man. Crank it out. Let's do this.
All right, welcome back.
Hey,
Hey.
BMFcast.
Hey.
Second half.
Second half time.
Second half.
Yeah. Oh,
Just
yeah.
gonna take it down.
Time for
take
the
it down.
NPR half.
BMFcast after
Take
dark.
it down a
Less
few
intense
tracks.
half.
Yeah.
This is National BMFcast Radio.
So, movie talk.
Time to
Coming to
talk
you live
about
on-
Hey,
movies.
did you guys see some movie?
I saw a movie.
What'd you
did.
see?
I saw a real new movie.
How new?
Like in the theater new.
Well, that's totally.
I did too.
That's Johnson.
That's
new.
incredible.
Why don't you go first? Because I know which one you saw.
Yeah. So I went and saw The Wolf of Wall Street.
Really?
Yay!
The Scorsese
Oh yeah,
3-hour
Marty Scorsese.
crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How did you enjoy that movie? How did it strike you?
I don't know that I've put together my thoughts on the entire thing.
Oh dear.
Like I think it's going to take another viewing kind of thing to piece it all together. Like, kind of in the same way, like, you know, you think of Goodfellas and you think of chunks of Goodfellas.
Yeah.
And then it's only after as many goddamn viewings as I've had where you kind of look at it as a complete and full movie and in the entire journey. And this is very similar in that vein. Like, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the hell out of what I was watching. It's just, it's really higher experience because it's like when it's over, it's like, in a good way, I feel like I've been watching this movie for forever. Like it's strange because like it didn't feel slow, but then like when it's over, it's just like I feel like whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's a pretentiousness to him, but that has nothing to do with the movie. I'm just surprised that people are saying he's good in it.
I was shocked. I kind of forgot he was in it, and then like when it happened, I was like, oh, hey, look, it's Jonah Hill, American Sweetheart. But yeah.
He's got a real serious IMDb picture now.
Oh,
well,
okay.
he's an actor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
of
I
course.
mean, shit, that movie is. I guess the craziest thing I can say about it is like it makes the exploits of the characters in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas look kind of lame or tame.
That's a good barometer.
So it's amazing to me what you can get away with in an R rating these days.
Okay, let me ask
Well,
you
if
the
you're Martin Scorsese, you
yeah.
can.
Well,
Well, I mean,
not
that,
lately.
That and Don John. I mean, like seriously, like I mean, they were just showing fucking porn clips. I mean, they're not showing the crazy bits, but it's like you've just kind of figured out a loophole of like putting in some crazy shit in your movie,
Yeah.
really. And
Well, let me ask you the hot button topic issue about this movie.
Okay.
Is it glamorizing the things that they did?
oh, I don't think so.
Okay. Well,
No.
that seems to be the thing that people are raging against this movie. Like, stop glamorizing these people's behavior.
I suppose on the one hand, it's like, wow, that's fucking crazy. I wouldn't maybe mind taste of trying some of that, but it's like it at no point is like, fuck yeah. I mean, no more than like by the end of Goodfellas, you're like, fuck yeah, be a gangster.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna work out great for you.
I mean, like the first 2/3 of Casino, you're like, hell yeah, let's make a bunch of money. But then, like, everyone gets murdered, and you're like, oh no,
Yeah, let's not.
I don't want to do that.
I'll end up with Sharon Stone, and that's not good. But yeah, no, I mean, same kind of arc where yeah, there's points where it's like, fuck, this is insane. Like, I can't believe these guys are getting away with this and shit like that. And
So basically, it follows the everything was great while it lasted.
kind of yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's Goodfellas on Wall Street.
Okay. That's
Basically.
all I need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, highly recommend. I mean, if you have a strong stomach. It was funny because like I went in the middle of the day while I had time off, and a couple of walkers came in. I mean,
Like
Zombies?
oh, like
Oh,
Oh, blue hairs.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
you know the
Wow.
tennis ball walker style. On
the
the
early
bottoms.
bird special.
Yeah, and I was like,
We're going to see him at night,
I was
Morris.
like, I wonder. Well, no, it was even
He
better.
did
'Cause-
Hugo.
It was even better because it was a couple. It wasn't even
Aw.
like, you know. And I was like, oh man, I wonder how long they last. They stayed the whole movie.
All right.
I'm like, by the end of the I'm
Yeah.
like, I got two people sitting by me that are a little bit up there. Like, dude had the large refillable free popcorn. Motherfucker went back, I think, at least 2 times.
Holy shit.
I'm like, this is not humanly fucking possible.
No.
Where are you putting this?
You can't put
That man
popcorn
doesn't
inside
eat.
you.
Apparently not. But anyway, I just the crowd that was in there, I was just like, I think I saw one group leave, or maybe they just took a group bathroom break. But I think they left.
Okay.
Like, and they were young. Like that's the funny thing. I was like, who's the elderly crowd that's going to drop out first? Because there is some crazy shit going on, and there's a couple conversations that are almost come across as the improv-y freestyle kind of crazy, but they're so fucking good and funny that it's like I couldn't help but laugh at like just how awful what the conversations they were having were.
Right.
Yeah, and I was just like at those points I was like, somebody's going to drop. People are going to get up and leave at this with what they're saying.
Those are the best movies.
Yeah.
I love people watching to see who's going to leave.
Yeah, but yeah, highly recommend.
Sweet.
Cool.
How about you, Meg?
I saw a movie in the theater.
What did you see?
I ended up seeing 47 Ronin.
Oh, you were the one.
Yeah. Have you seen the previews for 47 Ronin?
Yes,
Did you form an opinion on what 47 Ronin was going to be from those previews?
pretty much.
That's correct. Whatever opinion you formed on and whatever you figured your rating was going to be based on that preview,
Yeah.
that's what your rating is.
So
That
Truth in
movie
Advertising?
doesn't do anything that you don't expect it to do.
That movie's such a weird.
Starring Glenn Howerton from Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Steve Little from Eastbound and Down. It is a movie produced by College Humor. which you think would not be good.
Man, that sounds like
Wow,
sounds like hot bullshit.
And directed by the writer of oh God, what is it? Is it Wild Hogs? I think, or one of those.
Old Dogs, Wild Hogs,
Yeah, I think it was Old Dogs actually.
Big
But
Frogs.
you would think it would be terrible,
Okay.
but it's actually very close to the vein of like Office Space and Waiting, in that it's the kind of, here's this workplace thing that's going on, and there's interesting characters flitting through it.
Do they work in a coffee shop?
Well, no, it is this guy Glenn Howerton is a guy